Hello everyone, just a quick tutorial about Vlookups or vertical lookups with Excel. It's one of the common questions I kind of get asked about, and whilst they are, from my point, now using them for several years now, they are quite simple to understand. It's still quite useful to have an explanation to go on in the background. So with this tutorial I'll just go through the basics of a quick lookup. How you expand on this is entirely up to yourself, but it's pretty straightforward. So with the lookup itself, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up for references within this column A, and then I want it to return, if it does find any of those in column A, then I want it to tell me the number of batteries for each item. With it being Christmas, there's always batteries for everything nowadays, so all the little gizmos that the kids are going to get for Christmas, that's what's going to happen. So with this I've got my data and then the lookup that I want to perform. So in column A, this is where I'm going to be putting the item number, so I want item numbers A5 for example. So the command within here, I'll just use the drop downs for now, and so you go into the formulas toolbar and select the lookup and address reference. Your toolbar might be different, but you're looking for VLOOKUP. What I'll do is I'll give you a guide of what to select. So with each one, so the lookup value is for this example is the item number that we're wanting to look up. So that could be anything, but it generally is the cell that you want to look at. The table array is where the data is stored. So what we're doing is we're looking at the columns, and it's just these two columns. Now, just as a quick reference point, if you ever run into this, it'll cause you a headache, and I would recommend you don't do it. But with VLOOKUPs, they work from left to right. They don't work from right to left. You can work your way around to do it, but I'd recommend you don't even bother with it. Just get whichever data that you're trying to look at in the furthest left column that you physically can without wrecking your other data set, and then you should be fine. I won't go into too far into the explanation, just don't do it. So with this, you're looking at anything that is column A, you want the information from column B. That is the second column across from A, so you count them as A is 1, B is 2, so your column index is going to be number 2. If you was to change that to 1, it just return A5. And then in here just type false for now. We can go into more advanced lookups further on down the line. So there you go. So that's as simple as a VLOOKUP is. You're just looking this up. Now I can guarantee that if any individual was looking after just 20 items in their life, in their daily work schedule, they'd memorise this pretty quickly. It would just be something. But if you've got tens of thousands of rows, then it's going to get more and more problematic. So that's okay for giving that out. Now what I do get frustrated is when I start seeing not applicables, and it just makes things look a bit untidy. We can get rid of that in a simple command, and I've covered if statements in another one of my videos, a bit more depth. But to get rid of that, it is very simple. So what we'll do is we'll just say if the item number is equal to blank, then I want it to be blank, but if not, I want it to do the lookup. Well, yeah, again, I have a bad habit of this. I forget to put the parentheses around, but that's just me. So there you go. If you then have a blank, it doesn't show anything, but then I can go into anything of A9. You can then do A2, and it brings all the data up. Oh, again, go back here, we're in A2. That's a 4. Change that to a 9. It'll link it all up. So it's all very much dynamic. So that's basically on how a VLOOKUP works. You can then start getting into really big data sets where we want to. Let's take a copy of this and put it across a couple of times. So now I've got even more. So you can have the columns right along to the end. I'd try and avoid that if you can, but if your job entails it, then you're just going to have to do it. And let's just make this one 25, for example, so we can make it stand out. So to amend your lookup, and this is where being able to just keep a track of how things are building up. So we've now got 4 columns. I'm going to be in the 4th. So to amend this, I would be going from A through to D. Then I'd select that and 4, and then this should then turn to 25, which it does. So this can go on and expand for columns and columns and columns, and then you can start doing all sorts of fun with your data. But again, I hope the tutorial's been okay. If not, obviously comment, I'll feedback, and but hopefully it's been a good video. Thanks.